morning. My name is Jay Rosenthal, and I'm the Managing Director of Business of Cannabis. Welcome back to the Cannabis Daily Show for Monday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, and congratulations to the LA Rams. Since 2017, we've highlighted the companies, brands, people, and trends driving the cannabis industry, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Always, feel free to visit us at businessofcannabis.com, as well as through all of our social media channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're not watching on YouTube, please head over to YouTube and follow us on that channel. First, a few announcements, and you're hearing this first. February 24th, we will be joining again for our retail series. This month will be focused on the new regulations and guidance from regulators between the relationship between brands and retailers in Ontario. We'll be joined with some of the smartest minds looking at the regulations and the impacts of these rules in Ontario for retailers. That event is brought to you by Vitrina Group and Leafly. March 10th, Business of Cannabis New York Sessions. The topic will be connecting social equity licensees with capital. That's presented by Leafly and Vicente Sederberg and hosted at the Williamsburg Hotel. April 6th, we will be in Miami for Business of Cannabis Miami, where we'll have a showcase and we'll be talking about the latest from cannabis retail tech, design, and data. That's April 6th in Miami Beach. For today's stories, Senator Schumer solicits feedback on federal cannabis legalization. Aurora Cannabis reports a $75 million loss. Limited licensed states hurts diversity and equity in cannabis. A roundup of the latest European cannabis news. For our first story, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden and Senator Cory Booker have invited colleagues to help shape the final draft of their forthcoming federal cannabis legalization bill. That's according to The Hill. Quote, in order to appropriately address such nuance and issue, we respectfully request the input and advice and guidance of chairs and ranking members of relevant committees, as well as senators who have dealt with the challenges and realities of legalization in their own states. This is what they wrote in a Dear Colleague letter. At a press conference last week, Senator Schumer said the legislation will be introduced in April, begging the question, what have they been waiting for? For our second story, Edmonton-based Aurora Cannabis lost $75 million in the last 3 months of 2021. That, according to Bay Street. Revenues dropped by 10%. By the numbers, so net revenue fell 48% year over year from $28.5 million to $14.8 million. Medical cannabis was up 18% year over year from $38 million to $45.7 million. The company sold 14% fewer kilograms of cannabis. Prices, though, have dropped also from $4.45 to $4.20 in the last year. Still, the latest losses aren't as bad as the same period a year ago. From October to December 2020, Aurora reported almost a $300 million loss. For our third story, a new study by the Minority Cannabis Business Association warns that state regulations that limit the number of licenses available are hurting efforts to make the industry equitable and inclusive. This, according to MJ Biz. According to the report, 27 states limit licenses, and minority entrepreneurs are believed to lose expensive licensing opportunities to multi-state operators. The 15 states with equity programs haven't been successful because limited licensing is one of the several barriers to these licensees. Quote, the best thing you can do for social equity is open up the market. This, according to MCBA's Executive Director, Amber Littlejohn. And a note, Amber Littlejohn will be with us on April 10th in Brooklyn to dive further into this report. For our final story, our friends at Business Can rounded up the latest in Europe's accelerated cannabis industry. Here are some highlights. With an upcoming general election in the near future, there were fears that Malta's National Party would veto the country's recently passed cannabis legalization should they win, but the party has now confirmed it will keep that legislation. Albania's government is consulting the public on medical cannabis legalization. Following its launch in Germany, PepsiCo is bringing its hemp seed-infused energy drink to the U.S. market. And Germany's Cannabis Industry Association is fighting on behalf of several business owners who are being prosecuted for selling hemp products wrongly deemed to be used for intoxicating purposes. Those are the stories we're watching today. Join 10,000 others and catch all these stories and more in your inbox every day at 7 a.m. Eastern with our Cannabis Daily newsletter. That was actually episode 27 of the Cannabis Daily Show. Thank you for joining us on this YouTube channel. And if you're not watching on YouTube, please do subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.